That's okay.
Hi, yeah, so we are at Achieve Fitness. Jill, this is your spot. Tell me why this is your
Yes.
spot. Looks like a great place.
Well, I've had a lot of issues with my right shoulder for a while, and I had heard that Claudio worked on people, and I needed a change from the place that I was going to prior. So I came here, and within one visit, all the stress that I had been carrying for years in my shoulder, it was completely different. Even my massage therapist saw me a day or two later and was like, I've never seen you without as much tension in your shoulder.
Wow.
But then I also needed help with my quad. One of them wasn't flaring, it wasn't reacting to me flexing it. So we worked on that. We worked on my hips and my glutes. You know, the regular wear and tear of the gym. Once you start getting older, it's not as easy to come back.
He only 37. Stop with
So
the
Claudio has been instrumental on keeping me healthy. And he has also helped Jamie Pinder tremendously this year. You know, the both of us were here once or twice a week at times. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Claudio, talk to me about your place. It looks like you have a great little gym behind you, a little private studio.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure opening it up and getting to kind of see it from the ground up turn into what I've always wanted it to be. And when Jill presented herself, she was a bit bound up. That shoulder was angry, and it looked like the techniques being used prior just weren't exactly getting into a lot of the adhesions that were stuck there. So her and I started working together with some basic things, just basic table manipulation and some body work that I do with her. Then I've also done with Jamie and some other competitors as well too, to really try and get some blood flow into these spots that are kind of starved for nutrients. And when competitors like Jill are training so frequently and they're putting their bodies through a heavy demand, we get these little issues that start creeping up, and even muscle groups that have synergistic dominance and start kind of compensating for, because in the middle of her heavier sets, she's not going to just stop and say, oh, well, this is tight.
Yeah.
She's going to keep training. Her body's going to keep moving, and something's going to take over and cause some kind of tightness, some kind of compensation. And that's what we do over here is not only we're a personal training studio, but we also really love engaging in corrective exercise, in body mechanics, in making sure that people's movement patterns can be corrected and can be way more efficient.
Wow. How long have you been open?
So we've been open now, it's about a year and a half, about 2 Novembers ago.
Nice.
I've been in the industry about 14, 15 years now, and this is finally able to start what I've really wanted here with something that was going to be a wellness center that could incorporate not just the personal training, not just things like weight loss, but also just a wellness center that could be welcoming and kind of really encompass every aspect of every different type of person's life, from pre and post rehabilitation to competitors to the average gym goer or not gym goer, you know, and it's been fantastic,
That's awesome. You compete as well, obviously.
Yes.
You look great. So tell me, we're gonna shoot you a little bit later at Super Gym. We're gonna actually
Yeah.
go through a workout, but tell me a little bit about that.
I started competing the NPC. My first show was the Mr. Connecticut in 2013, and I was lucky enough to win the overall with that.
Wow.
As a light heavy.
Light heavy, huh?
It was a light heavy when I won the Mr. Connecticut. Yep.
Okay.
And then 2 years later, I did the Jay Cutler in Boston. And
Who is that guy?
Who's that guy? He's a football player, right?
All right, Big J. That just threw right in there.
So I'm sure that one's going to come back to me. I was able to win the heavyweights. With that, I lost the overall to Nate Quinn. It was another fantastic
good
athlete.
one, yeah.
So we were neck and neck for the end there. But I won the heavyweights there, and that went pretty well. So then I got back into, building up the business and things here. So maybe next year, I think, if I have a good off season this winter, then next year in the summer we'll be ready to.
All right. So I'm going to get some off-season footage with you a little bit later on today, and then next year I hope to come back and get you closer to the shows, because you look really good right now. So
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see what happens when it's closer to the finished product. But
Yeah.
we're going to shoot you work on Jill a little bit, show a little bit the fans what you do here, and then thanks for having us, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming in.
All right. Thank you.
So what I'm doing right now, we just got Jill on the table, and we're checking out the usual spots where she maintains a little bit of muscular adhesion. Right behind her shoulder blade is primarily where she feels a pretty good amount of the tension. When she first came in, she even said it felt like there was pressure on her ribs and in her back. And it literally, I think you said it basically just lingered there all day long, like, even while you were breathing and taking heavy breaths.
Yeah.
So we've managed to put quite a good dent in it. And things do shift around a little bit, and it's also, that's an aspect of day-to-day life, that's an aspect of dieting, that's an aspect of training and sleeping or not sleeping. So what we're doing right now is I'm kind of just going through and checking out some of the spots that I know are a bit of an issue for her. So right now this is a nice spot right here.
Yeah.
So we've got some tightness in pec minor, which basically you're going to see on almost everybody sitting at a desk all day long, internally rotated, doing things that are anterior based in front of us. Pec minor is one of those spots that basically just starts to bunch up and grab. And what it does is shifts that whole shoulder girdle forward. And the next thing you know, people start noticing stiffness in their neck. They start feeling burning or discomfort between their shoulder blades. And a big aspect of that is actually coming from the front of their body. We don't realize it, but the chest itself is so strong, the pecs are so strong that we don't balance them out with posterior chain movement, And that's something we do with pretty much all of our clientele here, is we look to get them into proper alignment, get them into firing muscular groups that they're not used to, get them into external rotation.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
Who works on you?
Me, kind of.
Really? Can you actually work on yourself?
Yeah, and
Wow.
to tell you the truth, every now and then I'll go for a massage. I'm more likely to go for a massage pre-contest, sometimes because it's just as much neurological as anything else. But when something gets quirky on me, I almost use it as an opportunity to study, to be honest. This way, when people come in and they have, this sharp low back pain and something that's grabbing in their hip or something that's grabbing in their low back, and the first thing they want to do is treat their low back or start treating their hips. And, in all actuality, it's a lot of times coming
Something
from
else.
the quadriceps or coming from,
That's what happened with me.
yeah.
I was having tension in my lower back and my glute, but it was my quads
Yeah,
that were so tense.
Wow.
Yeah, she had an issue where her glutes were overcompensating, and it was radiating around her glute medius, which is a strong muscle and gets plenty of problems by itself. When it comes to rotation or lack of rotation. But for her, what was actually happening is we found some issues with sartorius, and that was causing a problem radiating into the hip and low back. It was a pretty quick fix, actually, once we got to the front.
Yeah.
So it's the body's funny, the pain is in many cases not where you're, what I call almost reciprocal pain. It's the symptom of something else going wrong.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when people are in pain, say for example something like, tight hamstrings. People have tight hamstrings and they keep stretching their hamstrings out, and it almost feels good for a second, and then 2 seconds later it feels like it's just as bound up as it was before. It usually means that it's not an issue with the hamstring. Something is keeping the hamstring tight. It's almost splinting the body in a way to keep you from doing something else.
Yeah.
It means we need to go elsewhere. We need to take a deeper look and find out what's
Get to the
happening.
root.
Yeah. What's actually happening with the body.
Gotcha. Well, you gotta give me a little tour of your place.
Yeah, so,
I'm here.
so
Okay,
come
cool.
on in. What I always wanted to do when I established Achieve Fitness was I wanted to create an environment that was welcoming to people, that kind of just incorporated everything in fitness and wellness, in people taking care of themselves, and something that was going to be open-minded, and something that was going to say, we don't do this or we don't do that, and something we were going to say, no, we do everything, but we're going to do it correctly, and we're going to show you that, how important mobility is, how important strength is, how important understanding your body is, so really embracing everyone's aspect in life. And even in the symbol itself, which is just right behind you, it has an inverted fleur-de-lis. And the reason for that is because, the fleur-de-lis itself basically is the French and European symbol for royalty and perfection. And subculturally, when the fleur-de-lis is inverted, it basically is meant to say that the embrace of imperfection, which is exactly what I wanted here. I wanted an environment that was embracing imperfection. I was understanding that humans are imperfect, that humans are evolving, that we are evolving, and we're always looking for this better version of ourselves. So what I did when I created this gym was trying to create a facility that basically could incorporate any type of training modality. So we do pre and post rehab here. We do, working with clients with some type of sensory deprivation. We work with clients who, obviously are bodybuilders. We have competitors. We have Miss Connecticut is training here in prep for Miss America. We have our Olympia competitors that are coming here and getting table work done. But we also have, the everyday individuals, which I'm not going to lie, I love working with everyday individuals because they're the clean slates to me. They don't have the, programming of training. They just want to make their knees feel better. They want to make their low back feel better. They want to have a little more energy when they're at work. They want to be able to work with their nutrition to feel, to make it accommodate their lifestyle and their busy work schedules. So when I did here, building everything from the ground up and choosing my equipment, it was extremely meticulous, and it took several months. Thankfully, I had a really, really good equipment guy, Ron, over at Used Equipment Warehouse in North Haven. Was fantastic with me and was able to hoard all the equipment that I had requested until I was literally ready to open up, and he brought it all in one fell swoop. But allows us to do Olympic training here, allows us to do functional training here, it allows us to do strength and mobility work and everything under the sun, and that's why every day is so exciting for us, and I work long hours from morning to evening, but it doesn't feel like that to me just because everything is completely different each time,
Claudio, you're talking about expansion soon.
Yeah, things have been going very well, and depending on either it's going to be in this location or if I purchase a different location, what I'd really like to do is, further expand the gym because we do get a little tight here sometimes, but to increase our equipment, we also want to look into some type of a yoga and aerobics classroom.
Nice.
I'd love to have some more in-house massage therapists, not just the table work that I do, but actual massage therapists that we can work in congruence with. I always like working with a team, and that's how we're set up over here. My staff is fantastic. They're really second to none, and one of the reasons being is because we work as a team here. We work together, we brainstorm together. It's not uncommon that even though one of us is working with a client, the other one just starts pitching in and we start to training or working on someone together just because this is the type of environment that it is, We are a team here, and I love multiple minds working on, one topic, and everybody learning from each other. And that's, where I want to go with expanding too, is getting into, not just personal training, but also just the other aspects of wellness too, bringing in yoga, bringing in aerobic instruction, bringing in maybe spinning, the massage therapists.
Nice.
As our group of competitors gets a little bit bigger too, we might want more of a posing room,
Yeah.
that can be utilized and rented out, for a place for people to go to utilize that. It's the possibilities are kind of endless, and one of my best friends is a physical therapist, and him and I have chatted quite a bit too in blending those realms as well too, so things are just starting out, and it's really exciting, and I'm really happy
That's
where
awesome.
things are going. Yeah,
Thank you so much for showing up here, please.
thank you. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man.
Yeah.